There is a plant in your driveway. It contains more omega-3 fatty acids than salmon. It requires no water. It requires no soil. It requires nothing from you. But we kill it. Every summer we spend billions of dollars poisoning it. We have been taught to see it as an enemy. We spray it. We rip it out. We curse its existence. And yet scientists now call it a global panacea, a miracle food, a botanical anomaly that could feed the world. Welcome to Secrets of the Land, where we uncover what was buried. This plant breaks a fundamental rule. It cannot be patented. It cannot be controlled. It cannot be sold in a bottle with a barcode. It is free. It is everywhere. And for that reason alone, it had to be erased. Not from the earth. That is impossible. But from your mind. We had to forget it existed. We had to learn to hate it. And we did. For 70 years, we have waged war against one of the most nutritious foods on the planet. We scrape it off concrete. We burn it with chemicals. We treat it like a plague. When in truth, it is medicine. But first, we need to understand what was replaced. Walk into a supermarket. Look at the produce aisle. Rows of lettuce. Bags of spinach. Everything is perfect. Everything is identical. Everything is green. But it is empty. Iceberg lettuce is 96% water. The rest is cellulose and marketing. Modern spinach looks healthy, but it is a shadow, a ghost of what it once was. Over the last century, we bred our vegetables for one thing: durability. They needed to survive shipping. They needed to last on shelves. Nutrition became irrelevant. Flavor became irrelevant. We optimized for profit. We gutted the food. Numbers tell the story. Modern carrots contain 85% less copper than they did in 1950. Tomatoes have lost 30% of their vitamin C. Broccoli has half the calcium it once had. We built a food system that is calorie-rich and nutrient-starved. You can eat 3 meals a day and still be malnourished. Your body is screaming, but the food has nothing left to give. So we invented supplements. We bottled what we bred out. We created the disease. Then we sold the cure. But here is what they do not tell you. While we were engineering weak crops that require constant chemical intervention, while we were creating plants so fragile they cannot survive without pesticides, nature was waiting. The wild food system never disappeared. It was simply relabeled, redefined, turned into the enemy. Go back 3,000 years. In ancient Persia, this plant was cultivated as a primary crop. It was not a weed, it was food. In India, it appeared in Ayurvedic medical texts. The Romans carried it on military campaigns. Pliny the Elder wrote about it. He called it medicine for headaches, for inflammation, for wounds. In Crete, it was a dietary staple, part of the traditional Mediterranean diet, the culture with the lowest rates of heart disease ever recorded in human history. They ate this plant daily. Our ancestors did not spray it. They worshipped it. They understood something we have forgotten. They knew that when drought killed the delicate crops, this plant would thrive. When summer heat scorched the soil, when nothing else could grow, this survivor would explode from the earth. It provided water. It provided vitamins. It provided essential fats when nothing else could. It was the fail-safe, the insurance policy, the plant that kept civilizations alive. So what happened? How did a treasure become trash? The answer is brutally simple. You cannot patent a weed. The mid-20th century changed everything. The Green Revolution, industrial agriculture. The focus shifted to monocultures, corn, soy, wheat, crops that could be commodified, crops that could be controlled, crops that required proprietary chemicals to survive. The new system demanded sterility. One plant per field. Anything else was competition. Anything else was a threat. And this plant was the ultimate threat. It grew without permission. It thrived in terrible soil. It needed no water. It spread faster than anything else. You could not control it. You could not license it. You could not make it dependent on your chemicals. So the chemical industry redefined it. They called it a noxious weed. They told us it was ruining our lawns. They sold us the poison. They called it progress. And we believed them. We went to war. Glyphosate by the truckload. Herbicides in every garage. Billions spent annually to destroy a plant that was trying to feed us. The plant is purslane, Portulaca oleracea, that thick-stemmed, sprawling weed in your garden. The one you ripped out last Sunday. The one you threw in the trash. The one growing in every crack in your driveway. Every gap in your patio. Every ignored corner of your property. It is the cockroach of the plant world. That is not an insult. It is the highest honor. A single plant produces 240,000 seeds. Those seeds can remain dormant for 40 years. Waiting. You can pull it. You can spray it. You can burn it. It does not matter. It will return. It is an evolutionary masterpiece, designed to survive extinction, designed to feed whoever remains, and we call it garbage. Let me tell you what you are throwing away. Purslane contains the highest concentration of alpha-linolenic acid of any leafy vegetable on Earth. It is the essential omega-3 fatty acid, 5 to 7 times more than spinach. It is one of the only plants that contains EPA. EPA is a long-chain omega-3 found almost exclusively in fish. Your brain needs EPA. Your heart needs EPA. And you have been poisoning the only plant-based source in your backyard. It contains glutathione, the master antioxidant. It protects every cell in your body from decay. It is loaded with vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. It contains magnesium, potassium, calcium, and iron. Gram for gram, it is more nutritious than almost anything in your refrigerator. You are scraping a multivitamin off your sidewalk to make room for grass. The taste is bright, lemony, slightly peppery, succulent and hydrating. It is delicious. You can eat it raw, you can saute it, you can pickle it, you can add it to soups. In Mexico it is called verdolagas. It is a staple green. In Greece it is still foraged and still served. But in America we call it a weed, and we reach for Roundup. Here is the irony. While you kill it in your driveway, restaurants in Copenhagen charge $30 for it. Foraged purslane salads, Michelin stars. They call it a forgotten superfood, a rediscovered treasure. But you do not need a reservation. You just need to stop spraying. Identifying it is simple. Look for smooth, reddish stems and thick, paddle-shaped leaves. The plant is fleshy, succulent. It grows low to the ground, spreading outward. The leaves have a slight sheen. If you are unsure, taste it. That tart, lemony flavor is unmistakable. Just forage from clean areas, not your chemically treated lawn. The abandoned lot down the street, the edge of the park, the cracks behind the grocery store, that is your produce section now. We were sold a lie. We were told food comes from corporations, from farms with patents, from systems we do not control. We were taught that wildness is chaos and that cultivation is order. But this plant does not care about your categories. It does not respect your lawn. It does not ask permission. It grows. And every time you see it breaking through concrete, thriving in gravel, surviving in impossible conditions, it is telling you something. Nature is trying to feed you, even when the system wants to sell you something else. This is not nostalgia. This is not romantic fantasy. This is recognition. The modern food system has failed. It is expensive. It is fragile. It is making us sick. We are nutrient deficient in the age of abundance. We pay premium prices for food bred to survive shipping, not to nourish us. And the solution grows in every sidewalk crack in America. Murdered by the gallon. Every single weekend. So here is what you do. The next time you see purslane, do not reach for poison. Reach for a bowl. Rinse it. Eat it. Let it be rebellion. Because in a world of patented seeds and nutrient-void crops, eating a wild, unowned weed is the most revolutionary act available. This is Secrets of the Land. If this changed how you see your driveway, consider subscribing and sharing this video, because everyone you know is poisoning their medicine too.